Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Yolanda, PA, and as promised, I am here today to talk about my new micro school, Maya Angelou School of the Arts. So I just want to thank everybody for joining me today. During this presentation, I'm going to talk a little bit about what a micro school is, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what Maya Angelou School of the Arts offers. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so what is a micro school and why MASA is different? So let's take a few minutes and just talk about me for a minute. Because, of course, if you're sending your child to me, you want to know a little bit about who I am. I am Dr. Yolanda, PA. I am a mother of four. I have been in education for a little over 25 years. I have been a teacher, a dean of students, a principal. I am New York State certified as an educator and as a district leader. Why I created MASA? Well, because it was time. I've been thinking about creating Maya Angelou School of the Arts since 2012. It's been in the back of my mind. I've been slowly building. I did not imagine it to actually be a micro school, but here we are. It happens to be the best fit. I wanted to have a creative outlet for students, and I wanted to do everything differently. I'm not focusing on test scores. I'm not focusing on a specific curriculum. I'm really just focusing on my learners and what's best for them. And also to be able to give them the opportunity to learn creatively. And I'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like. What I believe that relationships matter. First and foremost, is the foundation for everything for me. Creativity matters, especially when it comes to learning and the potential of my learners. Emotional wellness matters for me and for my students and for my parents and families. And students deserve voice and choice. So it's not about just telling them what they're doing, but what actually drives them, like getting to know my students and what really propels them to want to learn and do their best. And learning should always be hands on, meaningful, and engaging. That's what I believe. All right. So, what exactly is a micro school? All right. A micro school is just what it says, like micro, small, right? And a school. I'm just opening up a virtual micro school, which means it is completely online. It's personalized instruction, which means that I'm able to meet my learners where they are. They have a flexible learning environment, and we'll talk a little bit about what that schedule looks like, right? So, pretty much just to summarize it, my students will be virtually learning with me with live instruction Monday through Wednesday, and Thursday is set aside for project-based learning, for individualized instruction, for individual support, different things like that. Um, it is relationship centered. Most micro schools do focus on project based learning, which means that we come up with universal themes and the learning is attached to those themes. So everything about science, math, ELA is tied into a theme, and there's an ultimate project that goes along with it, and family partnerships. So if you are interested in the micro school, just know that your relationship and your participation matters in micro schools. We welcome you. All right. So, question: why families are choosing micro schools? And the answer basically is families want something different now, especially if you have experience with your child in a regular or traditional public school setting and you know that it's not the best fit. Maybe because of they're overstimulated in these types of settings. You don't feel like the curriculum is personalized to meet your student where they are. Your child is not engaged in learning because of whatever. It could be behaviors in the classroom, or they're just not interested in the content. You're looking for some flexibility in learning, and overall you're trying to prioritize the emotional wellness of your child. So these are just some of the reasons. Like, I can go on and on about the other reasons, but these are the major ones that stand out to me the most. All right. So, yay, let's talk about MASA and what makes a difference. Okay. So, Maya Angelou School of the Arts is arts integrated. All right. And what that means, it means that creativity is woven into the learning experience. Students explore concepts through writing, visual arts, storytelling, movement, music, drama, and creative expression to deepen understanding and engagement. So, I have the opportunity to weave in the arts into learning. All right. It propels everything at MASA. SEL, which is social emotional learning, all right, is also embedded into the fabric of MASA. Now, if you have been following me, if you know anything about me, I am a very big proponent for social emotional learning because I feel like you need both. Students need to be engaged in the academics, but they also need emotional wellness and support. Okay, when you have both of those things in their line, so behavior supports with academic supports equals what? Student success. So we believe at MASA that students thrive when they feel seen, supported, and connected. SEL is embedded into our daily learning environment to help students build confidence, communication skills, emotional awareness, and positive relationships. Like I said, it is the foundation of everything that I do as a teacher and as the founder of MASA. All right, leadership development. This is a biggie for me. And let me give you a little bit of background as to why. So, growing up in a traditional public school setting, I never really thought of myself as a leader, right? So, of course, I'm a leader right now, but it was a journey for me. I think that a lot of our students, especially students of color, they have a lot of leadership skills that go unnoticed. Okay. So, students at MASA are encouraged to think independently, use their voice, collaborate with others, because this is a learned skill, and develop the confidence to lead with purpose both inside and outside of the classroom. Now, that is important because in traditional public school settings, your child is just being groomed to pass the test for the most part. Okay. But with micro schools, we have the ability and the flexibility to lead and teach differently. All right. And the other big thing is project based learning. Okay. Students engage in meaningful real world learning experiences that encourage critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, and the application of academic skills across subjects. So they're not just learning about something, they're actually applying it. And with project based learning, they get to kind of steer their learning in the direction that they want to go, and they get engaged because they have some voice in what they're learning and how they're learning. All right. Now, I'm going to keep going, but at any point when I post this, if you have any questions about it, go ahead and post it in the comments. All right. So, how learning works at MASA. Okay. So, let's get down to the nitty gritty, everybody. All right. So, Monday through Wednesday, we work together virtually online. All right. We have live instruction, it's broken up into small groups. Okay. We have community circles. And then this is where the core academics are tied into PBL. All right. Now, here's the difference. I have grade bands. Okay. So, even though MASA is 3 to 8, my grade bands are 3 to 5 and then 6 to 8. All right. Now, this works for me because I am able to meet students where they are. So I'll give you an example. If I have a third grader, but that third grader is on a fourth grade or a fifth grade level, I'm able to meet that student where they are and give them the support that they need on the fourth or fifth grade level. And this is why grade bands work for micro schools. And I am not going to have more than, I'm going to cap it, okay, at 30 students. And then those 30 students are going to be broken into those two grade bands, 3 through 5, and then 6 to 8. Now, Thursdays are set aside for creative exploration. It's arts enrichment. We're going to have student clubs, passion projects tied to PBL. This is where students may get to collaborate together and then have those experiences together as a group online. So even though everything is virtual, there will be more opportunities, okay? Enough opportunities for students to work with other students collaboratively. And then Friday is set aside for flexible learning. We don't meet that day. All right. That's independent learning. That's portfolio development. That's reflection and goal setting. And then family flexibility and support. All right. Now, let me talk a little bit about portfolios. And I'm not going to go much into depth because I'm going to have another video where I go into depth about portfolios. So if you think about the college setting, right, at the end of, say, like your master's degree, you have a portfolio that you get to showcase your work. What have you done this entire time while you're getting your master's? What did your progress look like? What did your growth look like? What did your journey look like? Well, at MASA, you start off with a portfolio, and that is how we gauge learning. All right. So your student will not get a score per se, but they will have goals, and they will be measuring those goals, and they will be able to showcase their work in their portfolios. Like I said, at any point in this video, if you have a question, drop it in the comments. It's going to move pretty quickly. All right. Who MASA is designed for? Now, this is important, okay, because MASA is not for every single child. So let's talk about it. MASA may be a great fit if your child thrives in a supportive learning environment, enjoys creativity and hands-on learning, benefits from individualized support. Because, like I said, I'm able to meet students where they are, or I'm able to meet my learners where they are. Is building independence and organization. This is completely virtual. So they have to have some support with being organized, and they have to have some support with gaining their independence. All right. They enjoy project based learning. Even if you don't know too much about it, from what I said, if you think that works for your child, then it'll be fine. They value connection and community, okay? And they need flexibility and whole child support. The academic support and the behavior support come together to what? Ensure student success. That is whole child support. All right? Stay with me if you're following me. What is the mission of Maya Angelou School of the Arts? Whole child, whole potential, okay? The mission of MASA is to educate, uplift, and inspire the whole child by cultivating academic growth, emotional intelligence, and creative expression through meaningful, student-centered learning experience. Okay, so we are now enrolling grades 3 to 8. Like I said, enrollment is very limited. I am actually giving a discount to my founding families, which is the first 10 families to enroll, and I have a separate video to talk about that. Now, typically, grades 3 to 8 is ages 8 through 14. Now, like I said before, be mindful. If your child, okay, is technically at a third grade age, but they're performing at a fourth grade level, I am able to support your child with that at MASA because I am a micro school and I have the opportunity and the flexibility to do so. Okay. Now, with that being said, I also have flexible tuition options that are available. This is a private school. All right. It is not federally funded. So there is tuition. Okay. So if you scan the barcode that you see here on the screen, all right, it will take you to my website and it will take you somewhere where you can actually fill out an interest form. All right. So I'll leave it up there just for a few seconds so you can scan it. If not, I'll also post my website link in the comments. All right. So thank you so much for joining me today for this synopsis of MASA. And like I said, I am so excited about this endeavor. If you know anyone who's interested, please share this video. If you are interested, please go to the link and fill out the interest form. Here's all of my information. Okay, my website is www.mayaangelouschoolofthearts.com. My email is info@mayaangelouschoolofthearts.com. And you can follow me on Instagram and also LinkedIn at MASA Microschool, and also YouTube. All right. So MASA, y'all, it started. So thank you for joining me today. Feel free to reach out with any questions and concerns, and be on the lookout for more videos to follow. Thank you. Bye-bye.